Welcome inside the first ever episode of MatchDA, everybody. Damon Amendolara with you, and to super serve the listeners and the viewers that love MLS the same way that I do, I am here to go wall to wall, round by round, match by match throughout MLS Cup playoffs to give you the best breakdown you can't get anywhere else. Color, personality, a sense of humor is what you deserve. I'm into the MLS playoffs. Why? Because we're true patriots around here. This is our league, and so we'll take you through step by step what we see here. Let's start with the fact that this new format for the MLS Cup playoffs is awesome. One match, winner take all, doesn't allow for that first match to be feel each other out, don't give up an away goal. No, it is all hands on deck right away, and it is proven to create chaos and interest and craziness in all these matches. So this new format has been a huge win in my mind for MLS. Today, it's all Eastern Conference after the quarterfinals. And we begin with the striker of the day. Now, in my hand, this is the mascot for the 1994 World Cup. Striker, the dog. And that's going to go to Toronto FC's Jonathan Osorio. It's 2 goals, 2 of them in extra time alone, as Toronto FC eliminates Wayne Rooney and DC United. How about this match as Rooney and DC tied up? Rooney's corner kick ties it up, helps set up the goal that ties it up for DC United. But the second goal ends up in extra time. Drilled from the top of the box by Osorio, makes it 4-1, and the Toronto crowd just going crazy at this point in time. Hometown hero. It's a great job by United to even stick in this thing and fight to the end to create the equalizer in stoppage time. But Osorio, the hometown kid, born in Toronto, the longest tenured member of Toronto FC, made more appearances for the club than anyone in club history, ends up not 1 but 2 of those goals in stoppage time, and Toronto moves on as the 4 seed into the semifinals in the next round. Now, who would Toronto take on after a 5-1 win? Well, that would be Atlanta. We'll get to them coming up here, but your Honorary El Pibe is next up, and that means who is our Carlos Valderrama? A guy with huge personality, a guy that just has a persona on that pitch, on that field, who has got the showmanship. Well, that's going to go to Ezequiel Barco of Atlanta United, because this was a tough match. I was surprised to see the Revs hold in so tight throughout the entire day. You know, you have Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Atlanta, of course, the defending MLS Cup champs. Would New England be able to hang in there? Well, it was scoreless into the 70th minute, and then Barco ends up with huge, incredibly huge, awesome, swift footwork, just cutting, stepping, stopping, and then slicing 2 defenders, setting up the goal of the day, the only goal, as United ends up winning. Franco Escobar finishes it off, and that's all that United needed. But huge, this is a huge performance by the Revolution, because the Revs holding it as close as they did for as long as they did was a win in of itself. And I know that that's not going to make Revs fans feel any better, but it is so obvious the Bruce Arena taking over gave that organization stability, it gave them accountability, it gave them a direction, and definitely the arrow is pointed up. Big jolt for the Revs this year in what Arena was able to do, and hanging with the MLS Cup champs as long as they did, pretty huge. But that has got to be your El Pibe, Honorary El Pibe moment of the quarterfinals of the weekend in MLS. And finally, back to who Toronto FC is going to end up playing. They're going to end up playing NYCFC as the 1 seed at Citi Field. And the 5 Stripes, Atlanta United, ends up taking on the 3 seed Philadelphia Union. And here is the segment that we like to call around here, That's a Meme. This match is amazing between Philadelphia and the Red Bulls, because in Philadelphia, the Red Bulls score 2 quick goals to take the lead. And immediately, the Union crowd is chanting, "Hey, Union, wake the bleep up." Is there anything more Philly than the fans yelling, "Hey, Union, wake the bleep up"? And it worked, as the Union comes roaring back from down 2-0 and 3-1 to win this match 4-3. They trailed 3-1, ripped off 3 straight goals for the Union's first playoff win ever as a franchise. They've been around since 2010. 18,000 fans show up on a miserable day in the Northeast. It was rainy, it was cold, it was windy. They show up on an NFL Sunday, no less, even though the Eagles were playing at night, and fill up that building. That was a really cool performance by the Philly crowd, and they helped lift the Union to a victory. And so next up, 2 seed, 3 seed, Atlanta and Philadelphia coming up on Thursday from Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And then you've got the 1 seed NYCFC with the bye, taking on the 4 seed Toronto FC coming up on Wednesday night from Citi Field because the Yankees played too deep into October. And so NYCFC bounced out of the Bronx and into Queens. That's the first episode of MatchDA. We'll do the Western Conference quarterfinals tomorrow. Same place, same channel. Be here.